YouTube? Tired Metalhead Weatherman here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. In today's video, we are taking a look at a little bit of a late summer outlook, more so than anything else, but nonetheless, this could be a rough estimate of what the next 3 months could look like. So make sure you're hitting that like button, also smashing that subscribe button. Make sure you get that bell on for notifications, or hammer that bell on, if you will. Also, share this video here. I'm sure some people would like to know just what could lie ahead here, and also if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Like I said, it's a 3-month average that we're looking at here. So as a whole, still a lot of uncertainty with this. So confidence isn't super high. The longer out that you look into a weather model or outlook, the less confidence you have. And usually within about a couple of weeks, confidence kind of drops off. So 3 months can get a little sketchy. But anyway, as far as temperatures are concerned for this summer, for most of the country here, we're definitely looking like we're going to be above average. In fact, the further south and east or really west that you go, the probability of above average summer is increasingly likely. Not really surprising considering we've shifted into a El Nino, and a stronger one at that. But nonetheless, though, we could be dealing with some baking temperatures from Florida all the way over towards Arizona and areas to the northwest and southwest too, of course, but northeast to northwest, I should say. And we can't forget about Alaska, which is pretty much going to be a similar deal. One interesting thing that I've kind of noted here from the map that we're looking at is the fact that I do see this equal chance of above or below average but temperatures, and also over towards the northwest in particular. I've noticed an increasing chance of maybe a few ridges beginning to be more dominant here, and maybe even more so towards the northeast. This is giving me a little bit of an idea of where the storm track could also be, but I'm not entirely sure as of yet. But even towards Canada, there could be some interesting things going on. Unfortunately, I can't look in that region right now. But that being said, though, we could be dealing with a pretty hot summer beyond the point that we are right now, even towards Ontario, where we're already struggling with wildfires, unfortunately. But nonetheless, we're hoping that things do improve over here, and we're hoping that things aren't too bad. Like I said, pretty high confidence across the board. We're at least at 33% or higher for any of these regions in the yellowish orange all the way to the red, which is about as high as 70%. Like I said, that even exists across Alaska, where we have at least 33 to 60% probabilities here. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the precipitation outlook. Like I said, towards the center of the country is probably where we're going to see the most action. Like I said, really leery of a very active storm track over here towards the central U.S. Still seeing some issues over here towards the Great Lakes here as far as moisture is concerned. Really becoming more concerned with drought over there. And then also over here towards the desert southwest. No surprises here. This is usually a less active time of year for this region. Then also, notably, the northwest is actually pretty quiet as far as weather is concerned. So the chances of below average precip and maybe even a little bit of drought developing isn't unreasonable. Florida, of course, during the summer, we tend to have a lot of summertime thunderstorms. We've already been having plenty. So no surprises there with above average chances of precip. And then for a lot of the country, we're still at equal chance. So for areas like mine over towards Atlanta, anyone over towards the mid-Atlantic and northeast, still have plenty more shots at rain. How each month goes will be a little bit of a different story, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're already in July, and it's been pretty active across the southeast, pretty active across the Ohio Valley, and then across the northeast, we've had our fair share of showers. This has already been kind of verifying as far as areas over towards the southwest, the Great Lakes, and even the northwest. I don't really get to see too much of Alaska, so I'm still trying to figure out what's going on over there, but it looks like below average precip towards the western half of the state. That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some models real quick. Time is a little bit short on my hands here, but this is us taking a look at what we're dealing with right now. Very concentrated area of warmth over here from Mississippi all the way into Arkansas, even parts of Louisiana. This is, by the way, done in Celsius here. We're looking at 2 degrees Celsius. It's pretty significant. We could be dealing with almost 20 plus degrees above average here. A lot of us are about 10 to 15 above average, possibly for the month here, but this is over an average here. So like I said, expect some pretty warm temperatures this month for a lot of us. A little bit of cooler than average over here, which is interesting. About less than a degree below average over here, however, so it's not like the numbers are going to be dramatic here, so to speak. Most dramatic numbers actually are more so towards Canada. These guys have been having a really hot summer here, unfortunately, so more may be the case there. As we head into the following month, we do start to see a little bit of heat begin to relent a little bit over towards the south here, but the north now will start to see those increasingly above average temperatures here. Temperature departures may be a little bit more dramatic here, where we're getting up to about maybe even 2 or even 3 degrees Celsius, which would be about 20 to 30 degrees. So definitely something that is very notable given the time of year here. Could see some 80s and 90s even sneak up into here. Like I said, we're looking pretty far out into the future here. So like I said, a lot can change. Any sort of tropical system that may develop and make impact to land, any change in the wind pattern or the jet stream could turn this upside down. That being said, let's go ahead and look at September. Of course, with us being further out, it's not like you can necessarily hone in on a particular area too much, but increased warmth across the Great Lakes seems to be possible, and across the Northwest. We're a little bit closer to average towards the south here as far as temperatures are concerned, but it's still hot anyway, so nothing to really change or give us any sort of relief. So if anything, that's a little bit more comfort. Also, we have to keep an eye on the Northeast too. Above average temperatures are still possible here, but not anywhere near as hot as what we could be seeing right now, or maybe even into August. But as a whole here, it looks like below average temperatures are pretty much off the map at this point. Like I said, things are very much prone to changing, so don't take that with a grain of salt. But that being said, that's what our temperature outlook is looking like for summer here as far as values are concerned. Let's go ahead and look at the monthly precip totals here. See if I can get it to load. Okay, there we go. So this is what we're looking like right now as far as precipitation anomaly. It's of course measured in inches, something a little bit more familiar to us. But for the month of July, what they're expecting right now at the Climate Prediction Center with this CANCIPS model is actually, interestingly enough, a little bit of a deficit begins to develop over towards Oklahoma, especially off the coast here, where we could see maybe even up to 2 inches below average here, which is interesting. But we're in a pretty active pattern, so this could be changing here. But also Northeast looks like it becomes increasingly active. Ohio Valley has been active, so no surprises there. And then over towards the western high plains, we're slightly below average as far as precip concerned. However, just as I've mentioned before, there's been plenty of rain over here towards the southeast, so like I said, I do find that kind of interesting. This could be a little bit off kilter, a tiny bit. We've had multiple stationary fronts too, so like I said, it's one of those little unknown variables when you look at these kinds of forecasts that can make the difference. But maybe a little further to the south is where I would expect the deficit to be, although I don't necessarily know for sure whether or not this will give off such a major deficit because 2 inches is a lot for a month. And then as we go in the next month, deficits are a little less significant here, but nonetheless here, looks like we do start to eventually see a little bit of a slowdown here towards the southeast and up the mid-Atlantic as well. Far northeast looks like there could be above average precip. Not a huge surplus here though, so there's some good news to be had there. Towards Texas, there's a little bit of a surplus, less than an inch difference really, and the same can be said across parts of Arizona. Closer we get towards fall here, we start to see a little bit more activity develop here. There's a lot of parameters that go into that too. There's a lot of factors that go into play. So we go into September here, we do start to see a little bit more activity here, especially off the Gulf Coast, and this is going to bring more showers and storms back into play across the mid-Atlantic here and the southeast. Also have to look at the storm track as well to maybe bring additional moisture over towards the central part of the U.S. Still looking for a little relief over here towards the Great Lakes here. I'd love to see a little bit more in the way of moisture. These guys have been dry a good bit. There have been a few storm systems that have rolled through, but I'd love to see a few more, so that way we can get them pretty well stabilized as far as drought conditions are concerned, because drought is developing there. But that being said here, it's the end of this video. Got other videos to cover, especially with severe weather, because we are far from finished here. But anyways, guys, this is Ty, Metalhead Weatherman. I hope you guys have an awesome day, awesome evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and have a nice day or night.